Weights and Downer. You or someone you know has lost the ability to earn a living because someone put the company interests before their well-being. In times like these, there's one firm who has handled hundreds of catastrophic and lost earning cases. Before you settle fast with a company's attorney, give Weights and Downer a call. 985-876-0870. Weights and Downer. Let us fight for your rights.
All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Falls. Very happy to have with us Mr. Harold Block, very familiar face here in the area. He's been on for a couple of different things throughout the years. Good to see you, Mr. Harold. How are you?
Martin, thanks for having me. I always enjoy coming on your program.
Oh, well, thank you. And, of course, we're going to talk about the December 7th election, which, by all accounts, is not a whole lot to get people out, but I guess that's the reason that you are here to try to spur them on. We're going to talk about especially Amendment number 1, and just to let the voters know, a vote for would increase the number of members of the State Judiciary Commission and give the Louisiana Supreme Court authority to direct the commission to investigate judicial misconduct allegations. A vote against would maintain the current 9-member Judiciary Commission to keep the Louisiana Supreme Court's authority over judicial ethics and discipline limited to action based on recommendations from the commission. So with that said, I'm going to turn to one of the experts who knows all about this stuff. Mr. Harold, tell us what your thoughts are on this, and I'll give you the floor.
Well, Martin, again, thanks for having me today. I don't know that I'm an expert on it, but I did serve on the Louisiana Judiciary Commission from 2012 to 2016. Every commissioner serves a 4-year appointment. And I'll just mention that basically I'm here today to, number one, make the public aware of the fact that there is an election on Saturday, December 7th. Early voting started last Friday, and it goes through this coming Saturday. To my knowledge, in Thibodeau and in many other places, the only thing on the ballot are 4 amendments. There's nothing, no constitutional amendments. There's nothing else on the ballot. So in speaking to the registrar in Lafourche today, he indicated he thought it'd be a very light turnout. And I would hope by appearing on your program today that I can get some people to go out and vote against Amendment number 1. The Louisiana Judiciary Commission is not a well-known organization or group in the state of Louisiana, but it consists of 9 members. 3 members are judges, 3 members are attorneys, and 3 members are citizen members. And they're appointed by various levels of the court. The Supreme Court appoints the judges, the appellate court appoints the lawyers, and the District Court Association appoints the citizen members. Mm-hmm. And what this amendment would do is it would increase the number of members from 9 by adding 5 more, 2 appointed by the Speaker of the Louisiana House of Representatives, 2 by the President of the Senate, and 1 by the Governor. I think it was a very badly conceptualized amendment in that it will take it's badly organized and conceptualized for a number of reasons. It will take the Judiciary Commission from 9 members so that we can have a unanimous vote of 9 or we can have a majority vote of 5 to 4. It will take the Judiciary Commission to 14 members, which theoretically it could end up with votes that are 7 to 7, meaning a tie vote, which would paralyze the Judiciary Commission. But the focus and the reason for the Judiciary Commission is to enforce judicial ethics. Judges are required to adhere to the Judicial Code of Conduct. And if a litigant, someone in their court, has a complaint about a judge, they file a complaint with the Louisiana Judiciary Commission. The commission accepts the complaint investigates the complaint and then makes a decision as to whether to go forward with discipline or to dismiss the complaint. And it's been a while, 2017, since I've been on the commission, so I don't remember the exact number of complaints we receive or it receives in a year, but I would venture to guess it's 500 to 700 to 800 complaints a year. And many, many, many of them are just totally without merit. A litigant loses his case, he's unhappy, so he files a complaint with the Judiciary Commission. But in some instances, it's not often, but in some instances, it is really an egregious error that the judge has made. And the discipline that the Judiciary Commission can dole out is anything from a reprimand, which is just a letter saying, you made a mistake, the ethics code says such and such, don't do it again. Mm-hmm. But in severe cases, and I would say that 2 or 3 times a year, there are severe cases, the Judiciary Commission can mandate that the judge be removed from office. Now, all of the discipline is reported to the Louisiana Supreme Court, which makes the final decision. But the beauty of the commission, in my mind, is you have 3 judges, 3 attorneys, and 3 lay people, 3 citizen members who bring a vast range of life experiences to the table. And normally we can hash out and discuss what should be done in this case. Is it a serious case? Is it not a serious case? And again, most of the cases are not serious cases.
Let's do this. We're going to take our break, but I would imagine it's a very awesome responsibility to be on a judiciary committee. It's really, you're being a judge for the judge.
It is more work than any group I have ever been involved in my life, other than my private practice of law. I've been involved with many boards, many commissions, and I would tell you the time that you must devote to it is almost overwhelming.
A lot of people think the judges are the top. There's nothing. The judges have to be aware of the Judiciary Committee.
But they also want to know that they're going to get a fair shake at the Judiciary Commission, and I think that's the danger of this amendment that's currently pending and being voted on.
There's always a very tough line between looking at it as being balanced and maybe getting political.
Well, that is exactly the possibility. With the fact that two members can be appointed by the President of the Senate, 2 by the House, and 1 by the governor, there's no criteria for who can be appointed. It could be an 18-year-old, it could be an 80-year-old, it could be a brother-in-law, it could be a sister-in-law. For all the other members, there are normally criteria. For the 3 attorneys, 2 have to have been practicing law for over 10 years. 1 has to have been practicing law for less than 3 years.
Yeah, so that does create more of a chance for somebody to get on and wet their feet on something that's a very important committee. Let's do this. We'll take a break. As always, I want to make sure we always look, if you have a different opinion than Mr. Block, we always are fair on this program. Come on, state your opinion and why you might think it's a good idea. But Mr. Block want to come on and give us his opinion. We always love to have him on. He's been on HTV quite a bit. So let's take a break. We'll come back. More with Mr. Harold Block. Don't go away. Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough. All right, welcome back. Our guest, Mr. Harold Block. We're talking about the December 7th election. Mainly on this program, we're talking about Amendment 1. And Mr. Block has told you his position to vote against this. Of course, we told you if anybody wants to vote for it, we'd love to hear from you for equal time on that. But Mr. Block, let me let you explain a little bit. You're very passionate about why you believe in this, and I want to give you a chance to give some of your for lack of a better word, like I'm the judge in the court. Give me your arguments on it.
Well, Martin, the Louisiana Judiciary Commission was established in 1968. So it's almost 55, 56 years old. And to my knowledge, again, I served on it for 4 years from 2012 to 2016. To my knowledge, it's never been accused of doing anything but dispensing fair and honest and reasonable opinions about judges' conduct. And we live in a country, a democracy that has three co-equal branches of government: the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. And they each have their own role to play. And basically, this amendment is viewed by some folks as an attempt by the legislature to have influence over the judiciary, because they would appoint 5 members of a 14-member board that could accuse a judge and publicly state that a judge took unethical actions. And of course, the old saying is, you never want to see your name in the same sentence with the word ethics. Judges in Louisiana run for office. If we had a slanted judiciary commission that was out to get a judge, and again, in my experience, that has never happened. It's always been, all the factors have been weighed and the decision has been made, hopefully correctly. But if they were out to get a judge, they can do a great deal of harm to a judge's reputation. And again, I'm not saying it would happen, but I'm saying it could happen with political appointments.
So you're saying it opens the door for something that's been a pretty pristine commission to mix the political powder in with it, which might not be a good mix.
I think that's a good way of putting it, Martin. It's very definitely a good way of putting it. Again, it's, part of my reason being here today. It's the old story about, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I don't think by adding 5 new members to a 9-member board, it's going to fix anything. In fact, I would tell you that again, I've never served on any board, any commission that required more of a commitment of time. And we would start the meetings off, it was usually once a month, at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they would often go to 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And that was with 9 commission members. If you add 5 more, you might say to commission members, you've got to come to New Orleans, to the Supreme Court building, and spend 2 days here. Well, that's going to knock a lot of people out. I'm still practicing law full time, and I can tell you, 1 day a month out of the office was a sacrifice for me. If I had been told, well, it's going to take 2 days now because we have more people who want to speak to the issues and make the decisions, I might have had a harder time serving on that board. But again, we have co-equal branches of government, and this has to be viewed as an attempt by the legislature to have some influence over the judiciary. I would point out to you that we already have 3 lay people on the Judiciary Commission who are not judges, who are not attorneys, but they bring their life's experience to the table, and oftentimes they have insights that the lawyers and the judges don't have. I would point out to you that the state legislature has ethics committees. To my knowledge, Senate, the House do not have lay people on their committees, on their ethics committees. So I think it's very unusual to attempt to change things, to add 5 new members to a board that I think has been handling its business very well.
All right. Well, Mr. Harrell, we appreciate you coming. I appreciate you contacting us to get your point out. Well spoken. Always good to see you.
Good to see you, Martin. Thanks for having me.
All right, Mr. Harrell. Once again, Mr. Harold Block. And once again, that is a December 7th election, has 4 amendments on it, but we were talking about Amendment 1. And we look forward to hearing from the other side. Have a good day.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.